So we are going to look at a responsive framework called GetSkeleton. Last week I spoke about a few. GetSkeleton, I spoke about W3C.CSS. GetSkeleton is really lightweight. It has a grid system, really responsive. It even has a font that is suitable for phones, really large and clear fonts. And you can see what happens. The columns, 1 and 11, again totaling up to 12, 2 and 10, totaling up to 12. So whenever you have div tags, that's how it's going to work. And it's even grammatically correct. So 1 column and 11 columns. Usually you have a class called columns and you just apply it with whatever prefix you want. But yeah, he's pretty good. David Gamache, very lightweight. And I think people like David Gamache and Dan Ebden, who have written Skeleton and Animate.css, I think they're contributing a lot to the internet, and probably more than Google and Facebook, because these guys are actually empowering individuals like you and me. You know, you can just come out of nowhere, use the libraries, and you can start producing content for the web. So they're really empowering the masses. Okay, they're not just hogging one big site that people just use to search. So they're really empowering you to create web pages. And these are just individuals giving this out for free. Ah, I just have to take this call. I'll interrupt the recording. Okay, we are back online. So I'm going to take this. Did I launch this by mistake? I'm going to take this skeleton and I'm going to apply it to one of the forms I created earlier. If you might remember, we had this store. So I'm just going to apply skeleton to this store. The first thing I need to do is download skeleton, and I'm just going to close this. Keep minimal tabs open. So I'm on Get Skeleton and I click on this download button. You'll get a zip file. I already have it in my downloads folder. That's the zip file, and I double clicked on it to unzip it. When you download Skeleton, you see this basic page, a very basic page, which takes you to this page on the site that has examples on how to use the site. Okay, it even tells you the different sizes of the headings, and the basic default font is sans serif, and you can see it's very nice, neat and clean. So I have that. What I did earlier was I took these and I made a new folder called store mobile. So that's my store calculator mobile. I made an example earlier before recording. So I've got the basic template. This is just a favorite icon, so you can go and change this to your store icon. So that has got a skeleton icon. You can open this in Photoshop, change it and save it, and it should actually work. So if I just select all of it and say edit fill red, make a new layer, and then just make a small circle and edit fill black, and if I just saved it, back as a PNG, so if I now come here and open this, you can see my favorite icon on top has changed. Okay. Also, when on your tablets and phones, if you click on that arrow and you add to the home screen, it is this icon that comes on your home screen. Okay. So if you make a web app and people want to add your web app to the home screen, that is the icon they will get. I think uh, iPhones automatically add a shine and a highlight to it. Anyway, so I'm here with my store. We have got the store and we've got the responsive framework. So this is what I get by default. Okay, you can see it does go to Google APIs for the fonts, but this does slow it down. I'm going to comment this out because the internet is a bit slow. So if it starts hanging, I'm going to comment it out. It's got links to these things inside the CSS folder, and I like to put CSS inside the CSS folder. It's got the favorite icon. It's got a container and it's got a row. So that's the container, that's one row. And it even has a column, one half column. It has one half column. And you can see the margin is here. He's got a 25% margin on top. Cool. So I'm going to start bringing stuff from my store. So that was my store. I've got a script. The script should be external, but it's okay. I'm going to just stick it in there. So I've got a small JavaScript in here. I put my script inside the head just after the icon. So I've got my script there. And then I have my store. My store is nothing but a form with an h1 tag. I'm going to bring my store inside the body. I'm going to put this h1 on top of the page. So I have a container, then my h1. So I've got my h1, then I have a row. I'll even put my order outside. And then my form starts. Okay, once my form starts, I have a row. Inside the row, I've got half a column, and then I've got hats. You see, what I'm going to do is, after the hats, this field set, after this field set, I'm going to end my row. This one half column, I'm going to end it. And I'm going to start another one half column. I'm going to start another one half column. And that one half column, I'm going to end it here. That will give me one extra div. And I think that's the extra div there. And I'm going to check this out. So you can see I've got my two divs. It's all happening. There's an extra p tag somewhere here. I'm going to kill the p tags. I don't want any p tags. Yep, so that's now fine. I'll just put a bit of a border to both of them. So I just go. In fact, I have some styles in my original store which I'm going to copy. So the field sets actually have this style. So I'm going to copy this style. And width is something I don't want, because width is what I use the responsive framework to take care of. I'll keep the height. I don't really need the floats because that's already taken care of, the floating and the weight stacks. So that's the field set. I might apply these IDs to actually the divs here. So this 1/2 column, I'll call it ID equals hats, and this other one, ID equals jackets. And I will take away these IDs, the field sets. It has got a height. Let me remove the height. Okay, so there it is, and I'll just put some kind of a padding on them. So I'll put a padding of 10 pixels just so that it's a bit clear from the border. And you can see now if I go mobile, it's okay. Now if I want to see where this gap is coming from, I can inspect the element, and you can see this guy form. Form has got a very big margin on top. Form. You see the form? Oh, this margin top here, it's this one. This margin top is actually killing it. So I'm going to kill this margin top here. Yeah. Okay. So sometimes you got to go and inspect the element and see where it's coming from. Now it's looking okay. And now if I go here, it comes down. And is it functioning? When I click on this, my JavaScript is still functioning. Now I don't like this here. So see how they're sticking? I will give them a margin. So coming back to my style here, give both of these guys a margin of 10 pixels, just so that it has some kind of a buffer outside. Okay. So I was explaining earlier, margin is outside, padding is inside. So this thing outside the blue line is margin, and this thing inside the blue line is padding. Same with the orange. My responsiveness seems to have broken. I'm just going to move the total below the divs. Yeah, it's no longer sitting side by side. So there is a problem. I've done something very bad here. I'm just going to reduce my font. So I can see the code. That's the row. Okay, that's one column. And that's the second column. Just going to try it again. So inside my container, I can have a div id equals row, or class rather, class equals row. Then inside that, I'm going to have div class equals 1/2, is it? 1/2 column. I'm just going to give it a style. Style equals border 1 pixel solid gray. So the left and right is working. I just need to see why the rest is not working. So on the left side, I'm going to put, I will get my form here, and I will end my form here. On the left side, I'll have this. And on the right side, I'm going to have this field set. So that's the right side, and then that's the row. I'll put this on top of the page, inside the container. And I have this row. Anything outside this row, I'm going to delete. So I'm going to delete all of this, except this small div that says what the total is. So there it is, side by side. Pretty cool. Now what I did wrong, let me see. So that is a margin. Maybe my margin was too much. Maybe the margin and padding has to be 5 and 5. So I've got an ID of hats, and this one an ID of jackets. Okay, that works. My border style is actually overwriting the border style, so I'm going to kill my border style here so that the blue and orange can be seen. And there we are. I don't know what I did wrong. It must have been a div tag, so I just worked on it again. And there we are. So applying your grade to this.